Do you desire to have an amazing real estate business, but you are fearful, like you cannot get out of your own head? Or maybe you are the person that's like, you know what? I'm ready and excited to do everything that I'm supposed to do, but I don't even really know what I'm supposed to be doing in the course of a day. And I feel like my time is just going away from me. Well, today, this episode is for you because I am talking to two of our besties in our Real Estate Bestie Facebook group, and they are sharing their questions and asking me to coach them on these things that are holding them back. Now, I wanted to do this episode, number one, because listen, the same things that you struggle with, other people struggle with too. And sometimes you feel all alone. I'm going to talk to one of our besties who's like, you know what? I am the bomb. Like, I know exactly what I was doing in my other career, but in real estate, I don't know where this fear has come from, but it's bubbling up inside of me and it is holding me back. And then our other bestie is just really struggling with how to approach her day. And I had the opportunity to coach them both on these topics, and you will see exactly the aha moments that they had. So I'm going to throw it to the interviews and then come back here because I have something special for you at the end. Hello, bestie.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Okay, tell me a little bit about yourself and your business.
Okay, my name is Sierra, and I am a currently a hairstylist. I've been a hairstylist since 2011. So I am a hairstylist, salon suite owner, and I am new to the real estate game. I've been doing hair all my life. It kind of first started with my grandmother. She was a hairstylist, and my aunt, and it kind of like trickled down to me. So hair is what I do. I'm also an educator. So when I first came across your podcast, I was like, okay, I know I can relate to her because I do come from the education spectrum. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'm just new to real estate and trying to get to know real estate like I get to know hair. Like I know hair, like I don't have to
Mm.
practice that hair. I can just, that's just what I do. So this is a totally different field for me. But, yeah, that's a little bit about me.
So, what question can I help you with today?
So like I was just saying when I introduced myself, I was talking about how I know hair. Like that's just something that I feel like I was born and gifted to do. So I really have
Hmm.
never had to like really work hard at it. But once I got into
Mm.
real estate, it's like you have to work in this industry. So one of the things that I'm just like fearful with is just overcoming my fear and confidence in it because I feel like, and I say I feel like, and I say that loosely because I know it's just how I feel. I just feel
Yeah.
like it's something new. It's totally different from what I'm used to, and I'm just trying to overcome that fear and really put myself out there like I know that I can. It's just trying to overcome that confidence and fear factor in the industry.
Oh, no, I absolutely like I a million percent. And I know the besties that are listening to this are like, yes, yes, me too. Okay, before I forget, I want to put you on a book that I want you to listen to on Audible. And this is actually, I actually listened to this book, and then this person became one of my business coaches. She's not a real estate coach, she's just a general online coach, but it's by Jennifer Allwood. And listen to the title. The title is Fear is Not the Boss of You. That book is going to like it's going I don't know if it's going to get you together, but what it's going to do is going to speak your language. And a million percent fear is a huge thing for a lot of people. It was a huge thing for me. And especially what I find is that most of the besties that I come in contact with, like y'all are bossy in what, and when I say boss, I'm saying that in a good way, right? Bossy in
Right,
whatever the field is that you're coming from. We're used to being excellent at this thing. We're used to excelling. We're used to like, and for a lot of us, we cannot remember the last time we were a novice, where we were new, where we were trying to figure it out. And then the way that real estate is portrayed online, it looks, I don't know about to you, but to me, it looked like it was going to be a lot easier than it was. It's simple, but not easy. And then you can just
Right.
really get in your head because essentially you're in sales and it can feel like you're selling yourself. And, when someone doesn't choose you or you don't know how to have that conversation, it can feel very personal and it can feel like you are being rejected. So I want to say I'm 1,000,000%, even at the stage that I am now, I 1,000,000% understand that. And I hear all the time, besties, if y'all are listening, I want y'all to click like, drop a comment if you've ever said to yourself, like, I need to get out my own way. And you know that it's fear that's
Yes.
holding you. So let's talk about it. So the very first thing is, I'm just actually what you're scared of.
I don't like I guess I'm afraid that I might get it wrong, or like if I spark a conversation with someone, because I'm new to it, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like if someone comes to me, it's easy for me to have a conversation about the hair industry because that's what I do. That's what I've been doing for a long
Right.
time. But when I think about real estate, it's like, well, what if I do start a conversation, like, what if I don't know the answer to to the question that may be asked at the time? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like it's not like a blueprint to this. It's not like a guide that I can just say, hey, this is what you do, this is what you do, because every transaction is different. Every circumstance is different. So it's really not a blueprint. It's just basically you learn as you go. You learn through experience. So I think that's just the thing. Like, if I do spark the conversation, like I want to be,
You want
I
to be
want to be
perfect.
prepared. Yes,
You want to
I
be
want to be
prepared. Okay.
prepared for the conversation.
So let me just lovingly, can I respond in love?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. So when like my team and my coaching students, they know that when I ask that question, I'm asking for permission to coach you. And
Yes,
sometimes coaching gets uncomfortable. So here's the first thing. You said a couple things that I want to point out. Okay. First things first. And I just want to regulate something. Let's just say you meet me. I'm not Rosemary, the real estate chick, right? I'm just this girl that you met, and you some kind of way mention you're a realtor, and I ask you a question and you get stumped. What's the worst thing that can happen?
nothing. I just won't
Right.
know.
You just won't know, right? And it'll be a no, right? If
Right.
you say something and it's weird, if it doesn't resonate with me, then it's just going to be a no, right? Maybe I won't continue the conversation. I might walk away. I might even look at you like you crazy, right? But it's just a no, right? So if you spark up the conversation and you don't do a stellar job and it's a no, guess what? If you never say anything, it's an automatic no,
That's true.
right? But if you say something, maybe it's to know that first time, but now we have an opportunity to tweak. Don't beat yourself up, but like, hey, she asked me a question. I didn't know how to answer that question. Well, next time I'm gonna learn. Like, what are some ways that I can answer that question? So when I have this come up again, instead of it being a no because I didn't even attempt, that no can become a learning lesson. And now I'm building that experience that you're talking about. And now I am going to at least have a response for the next time. The thing that I got caught up in, I can hear that you're getting caught up in, and I just want to free you from something. Sierra, you're going to suck. And it's okay. Okay. When you first start having these conversations, like I know that you can probably look at somebody here and tell them they foresee to be what they need to do, how you gonna clip this. You know before you even turn them around in the chair that they gonna be like, okay, I didn't even know it's gonna be like that. But in real estate, you in growing, there will likely be some growing pains, and that is okay. So I just want to free you from the fact that you're not going to be perfect. Now, I'm not telling you to go out here and be trash on purpose. No, right? Because I do want you to build your capacity. You know what I mean? And we're going to talk about some different things that you can do, but you are correct. There are going to be some things that experience, however you come by that experience, is going to be your teacher. But the sooner that you realize, like, the worst thing that can happen is it's a no, because that's the worst thing that can happen, right? 9 times out of 10, if
Right.
we out here and I ask you how's the market, and you tell me, you give me a goofy answer, I'm likely not gonna punch you,
Right.
right? I'm likely not going to wild out on cut. And if I do cuss you out or do something erratic, you don't want to work with somebody like that anyway, right? That's more of a
That's
representation of
true.
my character than yours. So if the worst thing that can happen is it's a no, that means that you're already starting off our worst case scenario
That's right.
because it's a no before you start, right? If you don't say
Hmm.
anything, it's an automatic no. So if the worst thing that can happen is that I still land at square one, then I might as well shoot my shot.
That's true.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Okay. So I think that that's for me. Like I like to do this thing where I play the movie forward. And I really literally think like, what's the worst thing that can happen? I don't care if it's me making an investment. I don't care if it's me, the worst thing that can happen is that this bombs. The worst thing that can happen is they don't choose me. But if that's the worst thing, a lot of times I think when me and my husband, we were living in Chicago and we wanted to relocate to Dallas. And we were playing a shoulda, coulda, woulda game, like trying to think of all of the bad things that could happen if we leave our family. And we really thought to ourselves, like, okay, if the worst thing, like, what's the worst thing that could happen? We move to Dallas and it don't work out. We were like, we would come back to Chicago. Well, snap, we in Chicago now. So if the worst thing that could happen is the life we're currently living, then take the risk.
That's true.
Right? Because you can go back,
Yes.
like you're probably living worst case scenario. So worst case scenario, you say something in real estate, it sounds stupid to somebody, then you just go do hair. Well, guess what? You're doing hair right
That's true. That's true.
now. Okay. So when you think about it like that, I believe that that gives you a little bit of courage. But now let's talk about something else because you talked about saying like you don't know how the conversations are going to go, all this stuff. I will tell you that the more experience you get, you're going to start to notice that people kind of got the same problems, the same objections, the same questions. Now, the way we approach them might be different based on their personality type. And, we have to be the way we even answer it may differ based on the market. Like people were concerned about interest rates at 2% just as much as they concerned about it at 7%. My answer is still
Hmm.
the same. What can you afford? Right. So when you put yourselves in scenarios where you're going to get more experience, I think the challenge with newer agents is that because you don't have your own experience, what I want to teach you to do is I want to teach you to adopt other people's experiences, right? So this is what I mean. Listening to podcasts, you're already a real estate bestie listener. So we tell stories here about just different things with the transactions. I don't want you to go out here lying, acting like that's you, right? But you hear
Right.
different things about transactions that will sound familiar to you. Educate yourself on YouTube, see what resources are available in your brokerage. And then you even think about right now in this mini coaching demonstration that you and I are doing, you are able right now to leverage the experience of somebody who has done it differently, or has more experience. Now, your mindset is going to be shifted because you've had a conversation with somebody who's done it, right? So where are your
Hmm.
opportunities through mentorship, through brokerage, through, even our coaching program through Real Estate Bestie, so that you can leverage these experiences as you begin to build up your own. Okay. Because you right, you're not gonna have it right. And then I'm gonna give you another real easy one. If somebody asks you a question and you don't know the answer, you want me to tell you the best answer?
What?
I don't know. Like literally, if you were to ask me a question right now, like ask me what the interest rates are right now, I'm gonna answer for you.
What are the interest rates right now?
You know what? I have to be honest with you. I have not run anybody this week through the pre approval process. So I can't give you an exact answer. And honestly, it's going to be different depending on your credit score. But let me give my lender a call. And what I'll do is I'll find out from him what the national average is. However, that's going to look different for you depending on your specific credit profile. So I would love to get him in contact with you so that y'all can talk specifically about what your numbers will look like. But I don't know.
Well, that was a little bit more than I don't know. That was
But
good.
but no, but what did I say? I don't know. And even in my consultations, right? I let my clients know in our initial consultations, this is my exact verbiage. Okay, because I was just like you, scared. What if somebody asks me something I don't know what to say? My exact verbiage is, you know what? I do know a lot about real estate, but I do not claim to know it all. But here's what I promise you. If I don't know, I will find out the answer.
Yeah, that's good.
Because I'm not going to be an expert at everything. I don't know everything. I've been in almost a
Right.
decade, and there are just some things that are not going to be my wheelhouse, right? But let me tell you what I'm
Hmm.
going to do. I'm going to figure it out. I'll find out the answer for you, but I don't have it right now. And that's
Yeah,
it.
that's good. That's a good approach. That's a good approach.
Okay. So what are you going to do when you out and about and you have an opportunity now to talk to somebody? Are you going to approach them and have a conversation, or are you going to fall back?
I'm going to approach and have a conversation. After talking to you, I'm going to approach and have a conversation. And when I fear what I don't know, then I can always come back with, I may not know right now, but the next time I talk to you, I will.
Yeah, I'll find out. Like, you know what? And guess what? That's actually a great reason to get their number. You know what? That is an absolute good question. And I want to make sure, here's another one. This is the easy way to say it. That's a good question. And I don't want to give you, I have an idea, but I want to give you the most up-to-date information. Girl, what's the best phone number? I want to follow up with you so I can make sure I give you this information the right way. Right?
Yes,
So now
yes,
you have a very natural way to exchange contact info. I gotta stay in contact with you. Are you on social? Like here, let me and I have to get my phone. I'll start typing the name. You on Facebook? Let me friend you right now. Cierra. Okay. Because I gotta get this
yes,
information to you.
yes.
Okay.
That's
Was
good.
that helpful, Bestie?
It was. It was.
Yay, yay. Well, I am so excited. I'm so grateful that you were just open. I know that you being open is going to make things so like aha moments go off for all of our other besties. And I just appreciate you allowing me to coach you today.
Yes, and I appreciate you as well. I was the fear. Fear almost had me not to reach out. I put it in the comment, and I erased it. Then I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put it in there. I'm gonna just shoot my shot, like you said, and I did. And I'm just so glad to be here. I'm very excited. I listen to the Real Estate Bestie podcast every week. Every episode comes out, I'm listening. So I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm
Yeah.
excited, and I cannot wait to be able to come back and tell you that, I've overcame fear.
Look, I'm so happy that you overcame your fear even to get on a call with me. And this is the remembrance I want you to put in your toolkit. So when you nervous to approach somebody or talk to them, remember the time you was nervous to be on the Real Estate Bestie podcast, and now you on here, and now all the other real estate besties know you, and they're gonna be holding you accountable and making sure that you
Yes,
ain't letting fear be the boss of you. So there's that.
yes, yes, yes.
I love it. So, what's your question?
How do I structure my schedule? Especially being a new real estate agent, I feel lost.
I understand. Okay, I need a little bit more context though. So tell me a little bit about like what does your schedule, what does a day look like for you right now? And no judgment. I'm not gonna judge you. Besties aren't gonna judge you. Just what does it look like? And then we can talk about it from there.
I feel like the morning is pretty structured. I get up at 6 a.m., I do my workout, I drop off the kids, and then after that, I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm all over the place. I'll go volunteering sometimes. Sometimes I'll call people, not all the time. At times, I will go to the office. Sometimes I don't. So I'll try to do content, but then I don't. So I don't know. I'm so lost.
Okay, I get it. It's vibes. It's vibes is what it is. Okay, so first I want to normalize it and say you are 1,000,000% not alone. I definitely went through the very same thing because what drew me to this business, and it maybe was for you too, was the freedom of schedule was very appealing. It was very sexy, but it also I learned very quickly like, oh, it can be my detriment because I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm willing to do the work, but I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Do you kind of feel like that sometimes?
Yes, I do. And especially coming from a 9 to 5 structure telling me what to do, I feel that now I don't know what to do because I don't have anyone telling me what to do, what
Hmm.
time. So then I find myself very lost.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So I am going to give you a couple of suggestions. And the very first thing is, have you heard of time blocking before?
I have, but I
Okay.
can't tell you exactly. I know that you block off time for certain activities,
Yep.
but is that what it is? That's what
It
I don't
is.
know.
It
Yeah,
is.
oh,
It is.
okay.
It literally, like the way that I would describe time blocking is it's almost like money, right? If you have a budget and you like, okay, this much needs to go to groceries, this much needs to go to the utility company, this much needs to go to my car payment, this much needs to go to mortgage. And what
Yeah.
happens is if you take the mortgage money and pay the car payment, and then you take the car payment money and pay the groceries, and if you know don't appropriate the money, then it can be like we already know what would happen to that account, right?
Yes.
um and the same thing is with our time. So the first thing is really figuring out the buckets of where do I need to be putting my time, because sometimes we're putting our time in buckets where they shouldn't be, or allocating too much time or not enough time in what is going to move the needle. And I geek out about scheduling and time blocking. And I just want to say this, I am naturally not, like I'm naturally not a very analytical person. I am not a numbers person. But when I figured this out, because I was just like you, girl, where I was like, I'm going to be very broke because I don't know what to do. I don't even know where to get started. And when I figured out, I actually read a book by Gary Keller called The
Mhm.
One Thing, and he alluded to time blocking, and I started diving a little bit deeper. And I even have a course about time blocking now that I'm going to gift you that course for being on the podcast, but because I actually want to
Thank
help
you.
you. But the course pretty much is helping you tell your time where to go. So let's just talk about the buckets that I have in the course. It's
Okay.
faith, family, fitness, finances, and fun. So when I time block for the week, I want to see all of these different areas represented, because I don't want a life that's all business, but we cannot have a
Mhm.
life that's all fun, right? So we
Yeah.
have to be able to, sometimes people say balance. I believe in rhythms, like creating rhythms in my life where, these are the times that I'm focused on my business activities. These are the times where I'm still living my life. And how can we have some flow? So let's talk about your schedule though. So I love that number one, you're getting up early. I am a strong, strong, strong advocate of getting up a little bit earlier than when your family needs you. Now, are you up before your kids, or are you
Yes.
up because of your kids?
No, I'm up before my kids.
Okay. Okay. I love
Yeah.
that. Just because, as a mom, as a real estate agent, as all of these different hats that you are wearing, you are likely pouring out into people on a daily basis. So
Yes.
there needs to be some time where you're replenishing yourself. Okay. So I definitely encourage you to start that for those of you other besties who are listening that don't have it. Okay. But what do you do after that? Now, I just want you to focus on one block. Okay.
Mhm.
Like, don't try to get all five F's at once. Let's focus on one. And because we're talking about what to do as a newer real estate agent, let's focus on the finance block. Okay. So, is it possible for you to block off 1 hour a day in the morning, right when you get the kids off to school, for active lead generation?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
now here, I'm setting you up, friend. Now, when I say active lead generation, do you know what I mean?
You're out there looking for people, talking to people, being just getting conversations going with people.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. Because I know that you said, sometimes I do content, sometimes I call, sometimes I, go places, networking classes. Sometimes we lump any real estate activity as a lead generation activity. And the way to tell whether or not it's a lead generation activity would be, am I having conversations, right? Am I
Yeah.
talking to, and generate means new, like we're creating something new. So am I having new conversations with
Mhm.
more people? And for 1 hour a day before you go get your nails done, before you go to the kid volunteer. And you know what? Let me back up. Because even going to volunteer at your kid's school can fit that bucket, but you're going to have to go to that school with the thought process like, hey, I'm going to have some conversations while I'm here. right?
Yeah.
So even when I'm doing my seems to be like ordinary activities, I play a game. Like if I have to, so today was a day where I was running around. We have a Real Estate Bestie event tomorrow. So I wasn't sitting at my desk, but I was at Sam's Club and I was at Office Depot. I made it my business while I was in those places to generate new conversations with the people around me. And we have a trick around here that we turn those into real estate conversations. Do you know the trick?
No.
Okay. I'm happy. I'm happy you don't know the trick. This is how you turn any conversation into a real estate conversation. I'm in line behind you at TJ Maxx. I'm talking to you and I'm just going to say, hey, oh, do you live around here? Right? I may look at something in your hand. Oh, you got little Halloween costumes. Oh, your little girl. Is she going to be a pumpkin? So cute. Do y'all live around here? And now guess what? It's a real estate conversation, right?
Wow. Yeah.
We have an opportunity to establish rapport. Now, I'm not telling you to go to Home Depot and like stalk people every day though, right? I'm
Yeah.
I'm giving you an example so that when you're out, if the schedule can't be helped and you are out and about, how you can turn it into conversations. But then this is where blocking comes in at, right? Can you block your time? And you will have some coaches that will be like, if you not, do 100 calls a day. And yes, 100 calls a day works. But what I know doesn't work, if you're not doing one, to think you go from 0 to 100 is ridiculous, right? But can
Yes.
you block an hour a day? And for that hour a day, maybe today you're going to look through your phone and you're going to call everybody who is an M and an O. Last name M, last name O. And
Yeah.
either the hour up first or you added M and O's first. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when I say
Yeah.
call, does it make you nervous?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Let's talk about it. What makes you nervous?
I don't know what to talk about with people. I feel
Okay.
that I could just get it and I don't know what to say, or okay, maybe hey, how are you? But there's some people that actually I haven't talked to in such a long time and I have them in my contacts, but I don't know how to reach out to them because I haven't talked to them in such a long time.
Okay. So the first thing is like, I don't want you to have any shame that you haven't talked to them because they busy, you busy, life busy. Okay. So just kind of get over that. And we in coaching, I teach you the forward script and we will try to link it to this episode, but just talking about family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. I have different things that to teach you how to do that. But listen, I just want
Yeah.
you, if I was calling you right now, Jackie, I would be like, hey, Jackie. Hey, it's
Yes.
Rosemary. Girl, I haven't talked to you in forever. I can't believe it's been so long. How are you doing? Like, get the elephant out the room. Like, don't wonder if they're gonna call you and think you're salesy or whatever. Just like literally say, I have not talked to you. I cannot believe time has gotten away from us. How are you doing, friend?
Okay.
So after you get that hour going and you are in the rhythm of having these conversations, then maybe you can say, okay, now I'm going to block 30 minutes after that for content. You know what I mean? Or I'm going to
Yes.
block, then after that 30 minutes for content, now I'm going to block an hour to do my mailers or my Canva or something like that. But the
Yeah.
thing is, your first priority needs to be having those real estate conversations. And as you get that going and you're consistent, you can add on more time to that, or you can add other activities. But you got
I
to tell the
see.
time where to go. And you have to be really good. And this is what the time blocking course is going to teach you
Yeah.
about you honoring your time and making other people honor your time. And this is what
I
I mean
see.
by that, right? You like, okay, I'm going to call for an hour. Then your husband pop in and say, you want to go to breakfast?
Yeah.
I do want to go to breakfast. I really want to go. However, I need to, or it's sure we can go to breakfast, but at 10:30 because I have an
Yeah.
hour of calling that I need to do first.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good because yeah.
yeah, yeah, we be like squirrels, or at the school,
Yes.
like you want to volunteer, yeah, I'll volunteer. But when you start time blocking, I can only volunteer on Thursdays though, because I know
Yeah.
Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays I do this.
Yeah. Yes.
So
And see, I do feel that I'm all over the place, and I think that time blocking will definitely help me focus, put it on my calendar this is what I'm doing right now. Because right now it's all in my head. I just, I'm gonna do this at this time, and then it's
Yeah.
a few hours later, and I don't do it.
And you don't do it. And as a matter of fact, I keep a written calendar, and that's the way I teach you in the time blocking course. Like, I don't even
Okay.
keep it just on Google. I write it down because, there is that physical connection when I write it down, and I'm more likely to actually follow it. Yeah, and here's the thing: if you don't tell your time where to go, everybody else will.
Yeah, that's true.
Your mama had you at the store. Your husband had you cooking, whatever he wants you to
Yes.
cook. Your,
Yes.
the clients will have you out showing way later than you intended on showing. Like, so unless we set boundaries around how we spend our time, everybody else will infringe on it.
That's true. That's true. Yes.
Here's your accountability. When are you going to start blocking 1 hour a day to call?
Starting Monday?
Oh,
Starting
cause
tomorrow.
I was gonna say, cause what's happening tomorrow? Today is Thursday.
I will try to avoid it. Starting tomorrow.
Started tomorrow. And hey, like you might even want to get yourself going and call one person a day. Just see how it feels. Right.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
getting to the habit of, calling your sphere of influence. If you've done open houses, it's okay. I know it's been a while. It's okay to pull out those sheets and call those people. Hey, this is Jacqueline. You and I met a little while back at 123 Main Street. I know the market was super wonky, but I just wanted to check in and see how you and your family were doing. And by the way, are y'all still in the market? So like call it out. Okay. You haven't been as diligent about the follow up, but now
Yes.
there's an opportunity to change that. And don't like just start with 1 hour. 1 hour. That's it. That's it.
Okay.
And then get yourself
Okay.
a cookie or a Twizzler or something after you do it.
Oh, yes.
Was this helpful?
It was. It was. And you simplify it so much because in my head, it's just so complicated, which you just make it so simple. It's just 1 hour a day, call people, and that's it. And like you said,
That's it.
mention the elephant in the room, which I think that's a very good tip because I get so nervous and I don't know what to talk about.
Yeah. Just mention it, just get to talking. And I believe we have a resource. I have two resources on just an ideal day or an ideal week. I'll link both of them and I'll make sure that I email them over to you. But it's rosemarylewis.com/day. And then the time blocking course. Now, Jacqueline, you're gonna get it. I'm gonna gift you the course for being on the podcast, but
Thank
everybody
you.
else, if you're interested, rosemarylewis.com/time. You will get that course, and we really break down how to do time blocking.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Listen, I absolutely, first of all, I'm so grateful for both of our besties, both Jacqueline and Sierra, being so open and honest about exactly what has them stuck and what was holding them back. And just like I share with them, right? A lot of times it's just small tweaks. With Jacqueline, we talked about, segmenting your day and time blocking and really telling your time where to go so that everyone else is not doing it. And for Sierra, listen, y'all, most times, whatever we are thinking worst case scenario is and what we're scared of, you're already living it, right? So when you get outside of your own head and you just decide, I'm going to do the thing, and if I'm not perfect at it, it is okay. That is a complete game changer. So I hope that that was helpful for you. And speaking of helpful, okay, we right now, as I am recording this podcast, we are at the end of our enrollment for Accelerator coaching. So what you just saw me do with those two young ladies, if you are like, you know what, I need a coach to help me get unstuck. And, for them, it was more of the structural basic things because they both are starting out, but maybe you're already in production and you're like, you know what, I'm really struggling with how to take this jumble of a hustle that I have and how to turn it into a business where I'm not running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Or maybe it's systems, maybe it's support. You're like, I need accountability. I invite you to check out our coaching program. I'm going to go ahead and link it here. And we enroll every 6 months. And honestly, Enrollment closes the first week of November. So if you are interested in Accelerator coaching and really, really curious about, Rosemary, how can I get some of that coaching that I just saw? And you feel like, you know what? It seems like you're the coach to do it and help me. I would be so honored to invite you into our coaching program. So go ahead and check out rosemarylewis.com/coach, and you will be directed on how to join us in Accelerator. And as always, listen, I love this community. If nothing else, like, you should be a part of our Facebook group. Make sure that you're getting our emails, because like both of these ladies, they're not my coaching students, but because they're a part of our Facebook group and because they are connected to the community, I was able to help them along the way in their real estate journey. And that is exactly what we're doing here with Real Estate Bestie. Okay. So make sure that you're connected. Look in the description box for all the things, and do me a favor. If you heard something in this episode and you know that it will be helpful to one of your real life real estate besties, go ahead and share it with them. Share the episode. And we want to make sure that we are growing Real Estate Bestie, because there is another woman in real estate, right? She's struggling with her time. She's struggling with her confidence. She's struggling with showing up. And Real Estate Bestie might just be the difference maker that she needs in order to have the business and the life of her dreams. All right. Love you, bestie. And I'll talk to you soon. If you enjoyed this episode and you have a real life bestie that you think it would resonate with, y'all, do me a favor. Go ahead and hit that share button, because you know what? We are better together. Make sure you share the podcast, and I appreciate your reviews. I appreciate you giving me 5 stars more than you know. I'll talk to you next week.